Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something important today. Life is not a rehearsal. You don't get to do it over, and yet too many people spend their days distracted by things that have no significance in the grand scheme of their lives. They chase approval from people who don't care. They waste energy on battles that don't build them. They major in minor things. But if you want to live a life of meaning, if you want real success, you must learn to focus only on what truly matters to you and let everything else fall away like dust in the wind. So, let's talk about how you can do that. If you don't define your priorities, the world will do it for you. What do you truly care about? What moves you? What excites your soul? You must get clear about what deserves your time and energy. Most people drown in distractions. Social media, endless news cycles, meaningless drama. These things steal your attention. Cut them off. Your future is too important to waste on noise. Your mind is a garden. Whatever you plant grows. Fill it with purpose, wisdom, and discipline. Don't let weeds of negativity or doubt take root. Comfort is the enemy of progress. If you focus on what truly matters, you will be challenged, stretched, and sometimes even tested. But that's the price of building something worthwhile. You don't have an infinite supply of hours. Every minute spent on distractions is a minute stolen from your dreams. Be intentional. Plan your days. Make every moment count. Your environment will shape you. Stay around people who inspire, uplift, and challenge you to become better. Let go of those who drain your energy and pull you away from your purpose. The world is full of shiny objects designed to steal your attention. But successful people stay locked in on their goals. They don't chase every opportunity. They commit fully to what matters. A clear vision keeps you moving. Write down your goals. Read them daily. Keep reminders of what truly matters in your life so that when distractions come, you stay on course. Not every invitation, opportunity, or request deserves your time. Saying no is a skill. It protects your energy and allows you to focus on what truly matters. Don't just exist, live with intention. Every day, ask yourself, did I move closer to what truly matters? If the answer is yes, you're on the right track. If not, adjust and refocus. The first step to a life of meaning and success is clarity. You have to decide right here, right now, what truly matters to you. Not what matters to your neighbor, not what society says should matter, and certainly not what distractions try to pull you toward. What matters to you? See, most people never take the time to answer this question. They drift. They react to life instead of directing it. And then one day, they wake up wondering where the years went. But you can't afford to live like that. You need to sit down with yourself in silence and ask, what do I value most? What kind of life do I want to build? What goals make my heart beat faster? These are not questions you rush through. They require deep thought, real honesty, and sometimes a little courage. Because once you identify what matters, you'll have to start making decisions that reflect it. And that might mean letting go of old habits, cutting out distractions, or even distancing yourself from people who pull you in the wrong direction. But here's the great part. Once you know what matters, decision-making gets easier. If something doesn't align with your values and goals, you don't waste time on it. If it moves you closer to the life you want, you go after it with everything you've got. That's the power of clarity. It keeps you from drifting. It gives you a compass. It makes sure that when you look back on your life, you don't just see years gone by, you see purpose, achievement, and fulfillment. Most people don't fail because they lack talent, intelligence, or opportunity. They fail because they spend too much time on things that don't matter. They fill their days with distractions, small tasks, meaningless conversations, and endless scrolling, then wonder why they never seem to make real progress. If you want to succeed, you have to learn the art of elimination. You don't need more hours in the day, you need fewer wasted ones. The moment you decide to cut out what doesn't serve you, everything changes. Your energy shifts. Your focus sharpens. You start moving forward instead of spinning in circles. But here's the tricky part. Not everything that steals your time looks like a distraction. Sometimes it comes disguised as obligations, unimportant meetings, unnecessary commitments, or even people who drain your energy instead of fueling your growth. You have to be ruthless in deciding what deserves your attention. The best way to do this? Ask yourself one simple question. Is this getting me closer to my goals or pulling me further away? If it doesn't add value, if it doesn't contribute to your vision, if it's just noise, let it go. The most successful people in the world don't do everything. They focus on the few things that truly matter and cut out the rest. And that's not just a strategy, it's a necessity. Because if you don't control your time, something or someone else will. Your mind is your most valuable asset. It's the control center of your life, the place where every great idea, every decision, every success or failure begins. And just like any valuable asset, it needs to be protected. If you don't guard it, the world will fill it with negativity, doubt, and distractions. Think of your mind like a fortress. A fortress has high walls to keep out invaders, strong gates that only open for the right people, and watchtowers to spot danger before it gets too close. Your mind needs the same level of protection. If you let just anyone walk in, bringing negativity, bad ideas, and limiting beliefs, it won't be long before your confidence crumbles and your focus disappears. You have to be selective about what you allow inside. The conversations you engage in, the books you read, the content you consume, all of it shapes your thinking. If you constantly expose yourself to fear, doubt, and mediocrity, you'll start believing that's all there is. But if you fill your mind with wisdom, inspiration, and discipline, your thoughts will begin to align with success. And don't just guard against external influences, watch your own thinking too. The words you say to yourself matter. If you tell yourself you can't do something, you've already lost before you even start. But if you train your mind to focus on solutions, growth, and possibilities, there's no limit to what you can achieve. So, treat your mind like the most valuable real estate in the world. Be careful who and what you let in, because whatever occupies your mind shapes your future. Comfort is easy. It feels good. It's familiar. But let me tell you something. Comfort is also the silent killer of dreams. It whispers to you, stay where you are. Don't take the risk. Don't push too hard. And before you know it, years pass and you're in the same place, wondering why life hasn't changed. Growth, on the other hand, is uncomfortable. It stretches you, challenges you, forces you to do things you've never done before. It makes you question yourself, doubt yourself, and sometimes even struggle. But here's the secret. Everything you want, every dream, every goal, every breakthrough is on the other side of that discomfort. See, the problem isn't that people don't want to grow, it's that they don't want to go through what growth requires. Growth demands that you face your fears, step into the unknown, and risk failure. And let's be honest, failure is painful. No one enjoys struggling. No one enjoys feeling uncertain. But you have to ask yourself, do you want comfort or do you want results? Because you can't have both. The most successful people in the world aren't the ones who played it safe. They're the ones who dared to step into discomfort and keep pushing forward even when it got tough. They understood that failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of the process. Every setback, every mistake, every challenge was just another lesson, another step closer to mastery. And here's what's interesting. Over time, what once felt uncomfortable becomes second nature. The things that used to intimidate you become routine. The challenges that once made you nervous become opportunities. Why? Because you've conditioned yourself for growth. You've trained your mind to embrace discomfort instead of running from it. Think of it like a muscle. If you never challenge it, it stays weak. But when you push it, when you lift heavier, stretch further, go beyond what feels easy, that muscle grows. It becomes stronger, more capable. And suddenly things that once seemed impossible become completely within your reach. But none of this happens if you choose comfort. If you avoid challenges, if you settle for good enough, if you keep doing what's easy, you'll never experience the true potential inside of you. The real tragedy isn't failing. It's never even trying. So you have a choice to make. You can stay comfortable, doing what's familiar, playing it safe, avoiding risk, or you can decide that your goals, your dreams, your future are worth more than temporary ease. You can step into the discomfort, embrace the challenge, and grow into the person you were meant to become. Because at the end of the day, comfort will never give you success. It will never bring you fulfillment. It will never take you to where you truly want to be. Only growth will. Time is the one thing you can never get back. You can lose money and make it again. You can lose an opportunity and find another. But once a day is gone, it's gone forever. And the difference between success and mediocrity often comes down to one thing: how well you master your time. Most people don't control their time. They let the day run them instead of running the day. They wake up with no plan, no structure, no sense of priority. They react to whatever comes their way, emails, phone calls, distractions, until the day is over. And they wonder why they didn't get anything meaningful done. But successful people understand that time is their greatest asset. They don't just spend time, they invest it. They treat it like gold, because that's exactly what it is. They know that how they use each hour determines where they'll be a year from now, 5 years from now, a decade from now. So how do you master your time? First, you have to become intentional. That means deciding before the day starts what needs to get done. You don't leave it to chance. You don't hope to be productive. You create a plan and you stick to it. A well-planned day leads to a well-lived life. Next, you have to understand that not all tasks are equal. Some things matter more than others. Successful people don't waste time on trivial tasks while ignoring the big ones. They focus on what moves the needle, on the activities that produce real results. You have to ask yourself, is what I'm doing right now getting me closer to my goals? If the answer is no, then you're not mastering your time. You're just keeping busy. And being busy is not the same as being productive. Then comes the biggest challenge, eliminating distractions. The world is full of them. Social media, unnecessary meetings, constant notifications. If you're not careful, they'll steal your entire day. You have to take control. Turn off what doesn't serve you. Say no to what doesn't align with your priorities. Protect your time like your future depends on it, because it does. Another secret? Learn to work with urgency. People who master time don't wait for inspiration to strike. They don't delay. They take action. They set deadlines. They create momentum. They don't say, I'll get to it later. They know that later is a dangerous word because later becomes never. And finally, you have to recognize that time isn't just about productivity. It's about life itself. Mastering your time isn't just about working harder. It's about making room for what truly matters. Family, relationships, personal growth. These things deserve your time just as much as your goals. Because what's the point of success if you never have time to enjoy it? So the choice is yours. You can treat time like an unlimited resource, wasting it on distractions and trivial things, or you can treat it like the rare and valuable currency that it is. You can be the person who looks back with regret, wondering where all the years went, or you can be the person who looks back with pride, knowing that every moment was used wisely. The clock is ticking. Master your time or time will master you. If you want to change your life, start by changing the people around you. Because whether you realize it or not, the people you spend time with are shaping your mindset, your habits, and ultimately your future. You don't rise to your goals. You rise or fall to the level of your environment. Look at the people in your life right now. Are they pushing you forward or holding you back? Are they challenging you to grow or are they keeping you comfortable in mediocrity? This is one of the hardest but most necessary questions to ask, because your success is never just about what you do, it's about who you surround yourself with. We are influenced more than we like to admit. Spend time around lazy people and you'll start making excuses. Surround yourself with complainers and before you know it, you'll be complaining too. But if you put yourself in a room full of people who are disciplined, ambitious, and driven, you'll start thinking bigger, working harder, and expecting more from yourself. It happens naturally. This is why successful people are intentional about their circle. They don't just let anyone have access to their time, their energy, or their mind. They choose their relationships carefully. They seek out mentors, friends, and associates who elevate them. They build an inner circle that aligns with their vision, not one that distracts from it. Now, some people hear this and think it sounds harsh. You mean I have to distance myself from old friends, from family? Let me be clear. You don't have to cut people off completely, but you do have to adjust the influence they have over you. If someone is always negative, always doubting, always making excuses, then you can't let their mindset become yours. You can love people from a distance, you can be kind, but you don't have to let their energy dictate your future. At the same time, you have to seek out the right people. Success leaves clues, and there are people out there who have already walked the path you're trying to walk. Find them, learn from them, spend time with those who are already where you want to be. Because here's the truth. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. If you're the most disciplined, the most ambitious, the most driven, you need to level up your environment. And don't just surround yourself with people who inspire you. Surround yourself with people who hold you accountable. The right circle won't just cheer you on, they'll challenge you. They won't let you settle. They'll push you when you're slacking, remind you of your goals when you're distracted, and expect the best from you even when you don't feel like giving it. That's the kind of environment where real growth happens. So take a serious look at your circle. Who are you allowing to shape your thinking? Who are you letting influence your habits? If your goal is success, surround yourself with successful people. If your goal is discipline, surround yourself with disciplined people. If your goal is greatness, put yourself in a room where greatness is the standard. Because, like it or not, you will become like the people you spend the most time with. Choose wisely. Focus is one of the most powerful tools you have, but most people don't use it. They let their attention get pulled in 1,000 different directions, chasing distractions, jumping from one idea to the next, never truly locking in on what matters. And as a result, they never build momentum. They never go deep enough to master anything. They stay busy, but they don't make real progress. But let me tell you something. Success is about depth, not just motion. It's not about doing 100 things halfway. It's about doing a few things exceptionally well. And to do that, you have to develop a laser-like focus. Think of a magnifying glass. If you wave it around in the sunlight, nothing happens. But if you hold it still, if you focus the light on one spot, it generates heat. It creates fire. That's exactly how focus works in your life. Scattered effort gets you nowhere. Concentrated effort changes everything. So how do you develop that kind of focus? It starts with getting crystal clear on what you want. If you don't know exactly what you're aiming for, your mind will wander. You'll get distracted. But when you have a clear, compelling goal, when you know exactly what you're working toward, focus becomes easier. Your mind naturally locks in on what matters. Next, you have to eliminate distractions. The world is full of things designed to steal your attention. Social media, emails, unnecessary meetings, endless notifications. These things might seem small, but over time, they add up. Every minute you spend on distractions is a minute stolen from your goals. You have to be ruthless. Turn off what doesn't serve you. Create an environment that allows you to concentrate. Because focus isn't just about discipline, it's about setting yourself up for success. And here's the key. Train your brain to focus deeply. In today's world, most people have the attention span of a goldfish. They can't sit still for more than a few minutes before they start checking their phone, looking for something new, something easier. But true achievement requires deep work. It requires the ability to lock in, stay with a problem, push through the moments when it gets difficult. If you can train yourself to focus for long periods without distraction, without giving up, you will accomplish more in a few years than most people do in a lifetime. Another secret? Stop multitasking. A lot of people think doing multiple things at once makes them more productive, but the truth is it makes them less effective. Your brain works best when it's locked in on one thing at a time. If you're constantly switching tasks, you're never operating at full capacity. Give your full attention to the task at hand, finish it, and then move on to the next. And most importantly, guard your focus like your future depends on it, because it does. Every day, ask yourself, is what I'm focusing on moving me closer to my goals? If the answer is no, you need to adjust. Because focus isn't just something you turn on and off. It's a habit. It's a way of life. The people who achieve extraordinary things aren't necessarily smarter, luckier, or more talented. They just focus better. They lock in. They stay on course. They refuse to be distracted by things that don't matter. So make the decision today. Develop that laser-like focus. Cut out the distractions. Lock in on what truly matters, because once you master your focus, there's nothing you can't accomplish. If you don't keep your vision in front of you, life will distract you, circumstances will discourage you, and people will pull you in every direction but forward. Most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they lose sight of where they're going. They start out with excitement, full of dreams, full of ambition, but somewhere along the way they get distracted, they get comfortable, and they forget why they started in the first place. But the people who succeed, they never let go of their vision. They keep it in front of them every single day. They remind themselves constantly of where they're going, why they're going there, and what it will mean when they arrive. They don't leave it to chance. They don't hope they stay motivated. They create the environment that fuels their focus and keeps them moving forward. So how do you do that? First, you have to define your vision with absolute clarity. It's not enough to say, I want to be successful or I want to be wealthy. That's too vague. You need to see it in detail. What does success look like for you? What kind of life do you want? What kind of person do you want to become? The clearer the vision, the stronger the pull. A weak vision produces weak motivation. A strong, detailed vision creates unstoppable momentum. Once you've defined it, write it down. Don't just keep it in your head. Get it on paper. Something powerful happens when you take an idea and put it into words. It moves from being a thought to being a target. It becomes real. And don't just write it down once. Keep it where you can see it daily, on your desk, on your bathroom mirror, on your phone background, wherever. You'll be reminded of it constantly. Next, you need to visualize it daily. Successful people don't just set a goal and forget about it. They live in the vision before it happens. They see themselves achieving it. They feel the emotions of success before they arrive. Why? Because your mind works in pictures. The more you see yourself succeeding, the more your subconscious mind starts working to make it happen. If you can't see it in your mind first, you'll never see it in reality. But here's something important. Your vision alone won't get you there. A vision without action is just a fantasy. Once you've set your sights on where you're going, you have to back it up with discipline, consistency, and an unshakable work ethic. Every day, ask yourself, what am I doing today that aligns with my vision? Because if your daily actions don't match your ultimate goal, you're just dreaming. And here's the truth, your vision will be tested. There will be days when you feel like giving up. There will be setbacks, failures, and obstacles that make you question whether it's even possible. That's when most people quit. But the ones who succeed, they don't let temporary setbacks make them forget their long-term vision. They don't let circumstances dictate their future. They remind themselves of why they started and they push forward anyway. So keep your vision in front of you every day, every moment, every decision. Because when your vision is clear, your actions become intentional, your motivation stays strong, and your future starts moving toward you faster than you ever imagined. The only thing that can stop you is losing sight of where you're going. Don't let that happen. Keep your vision alive, and one day you'll be living in the reality you once imagined.